13. Achievements in China's anti-corruption efforts and directions for institutional reform. Lessons from Hong Kong's ICAC and Singapore's CPIB. During Xi Jinping's administration, China has made remarkable progress in its anti-corruption campaign, driving the development of party discipline and governance. The following is an overview of key achievements. Comprehensive party governance. The 8-point regulation, introduced at the end of 2012 to address the malfeasances, formalism, bureaucratism, hedonism, and extravagance, fostering a stricter culture within the party. Institutional development. Enhanced internal party supervision systems, such as the regulations on internal oversight and disciplinary regulations, creating mechanisms to deter, prevent, and discourage corruption. High-pressure anti-corruption campaign, targeting tigers and flies, simultaneously addressing high-level corruption tigers and grassroots malfeasance flies, ensuring no area is left untouched. Example: high-profile investigations into senior leaders such as Zhou Yongkang, Bo Xilai, Sun Jingkai, and Lin Jinhua had a profound deterrent effect. National Supervision Reform. Establishment of the National Supervisory Commission, merging party disciplinary and state supervisory functions for comprehensive oversight of all public officials. Skynet and Fox Hunt operations. Strengthened international efforts to track and recover fugitive officials and illicit assets. Key statistics and achievements. Case handling. From 2012 to 2022, over 4.5 million cases were filed, and more than 4.9 million individuals were disciplined. Among them, over 60,000 were officials at the department or bureau level and above. Grassroots governance. Special focus on corruption in rural areas and poverty alleviation, targeting embezzlement of special funds and fraudulent claims. International cooperation. Strengthened international anti-corruption partnerships. Promoted the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and signed extradition and judicial assistance agreements with multiple countries. Red notices via Interpol. Many high-profile fugitives were apprehended, including several from the 100 most wanted list. Building a culture of integrity, education and awareness. Conducted party lectures, case studies, and awareness campaigns to promote clean governance among party members. Public engagement. Fostered a societal ethos of integrity, encouraging collective efforts in combating corruption. Global recognition. China's anti-corruption achievements during Xi Jinping's tenure have garnered international attention, regarded as pivotal for modernizing governance. Large-scale actions have cleansed the political environment, strengthened public trust in the party, and laid a foundation for sustainable development. These efforts demonstrate that China's anti-corruption campaign has transitioned from temporary actions to institutionalized governance, forming a core component of comprehensive party management. Reform directions inspired by ICAC and CPIB. China can enhance its anti-corruption framework by adopting practices from Hong Kong's Independent Commission Against Corruption ICAC and Singapore's Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau CPIB. 1. Strengthening institutional independence and authority. Establish independent investigative agencies. Problem: anti-corruption agencies in China are often tied to government departments, vulnerable to local and departmental interests. Lessons: Hong Kong's ICAC reports directly to the chief executive, ensuring freedom from local interference. Singapore's CPIB is overseen by the Prime Minister, maintaining authoritative enforcement. Recommendations: create a national-level independent anti-corruption agency reporting directly to top leadership. Strengthen internal audits to prevent corruption within the agency itself. Enhance legal safeguards. Problem: some investigations face legal barriers under the current framework. Lessons: Singapore's Prevention of Corruption Act grants CPIB extensive powers, including asset freezing, searches, and seizures. Recommendations: amend the supervision law and criminal law to expand investigative powers and streamline procedures for greater efficiency. To optimizing anti-corruption processes, improving enforcement efficiency. Problem: prolonged case handling undermines deterrence. Lessons: Singapore CPIB ensures rapid response and investigation for both high-level and grassroots cases. Recommendations: implement expedited case handling mechanisms with deadlines for major investigations. Leverage modern technologies, for example, big data and AI, to enhance investigative efficiency. Focusing on prevention. Problem: current efforts emphasize post-incident punishment with limited preventive measures. Lessons: ICAC's Corruption Prevention Department reduces opportunities for malfeasance through process optimization. Recommendations: introduce risk assessment frameworks for corruption-prone sectors, for example, land approvals and public procurement. Strengthen integrity audits in official selection and appointment processes. 3. Enhancing public engagement and anti-corruption education, improving transparency. Problem: limited transparency and public participation in anti-corruption efforts. Lessons: ICAC regularly updates the public on case progress and outcomes, building trust. Recommendations: publicize cases and release periodic anti-corruption reports to raise awareness. Expanding awareness campaigns. Problem: public anti-corruption consciousness remains weak, especially in rural areas. Lessons: ICAC's campaigns cover schools, businesses, and communities. Recommendations: offer targeted integrity training for civil servants, school programs, and community activities. Utilize new media platforms like TikTok and WeChat to engage younger audiences. For tackling corruption in the private sector, expanding oversight. Problem: corruption in private enterprises is escalating, with insufficient regulation. Lessons: ICAC's mandate includes anti-corruption in the private sector. Recommendations: amend the anti-unfair competition law to strengthen oversight and penalties. Encourage corporate compliance programs and external monitoring. Encouraging whistleblowing. Problem: private sector corruption is often hidden with few leads. Lessons: CPIB protects whistleblowers and offers rewards. Recommendations: implement both anonymous and open reporting channels with incentives to encourage tips. 5. Leveraging modern technology. Data-driven anti-corruption. Problem: traditional methods face information asymmetry and tracking difficulties. Lessons: Singapore uses technology to detect financial anomalies and corruption. Recommendations: establish a national anti-corruption data center for big data analysis. Apply AI to enhance auditing and investigative processes. Promoting transparent governance. Problem: lack of transparency in government affairs enables corruption. Lessons: ICAC advocates open administrative procedures to minimize human intervention. Recommendations: advance e-governance to eliminate offline approval processes, using digital systems to close corruption loopholes. 6. Elevating cadre integrity. Enhancing accountability. Problem: high-level corruption undermines trust in the system. Lessons: CPIB enforces a zero-tolerance policy for corruption, regardless of rank. Recommendations: mandate property declaration and audits for senior officials. Strengthen accountability mechanisms for high-level cadres, fostering a culture of integrity. Problem: officialdom mindset and tolerance for corruption persist in some areas. Lessons: ICAC's long-term cultural initiatives promote integrity as a societal value. Recommendations: cultivate a culture that honors integrity and shames corruption, showcasing anti-corruption role models. By incorporating the successful experiences of Hong Kong and Singapore, China can advance its anti-corruption reforms through institutional independence, transparency, modernization, and public participation. These efforts will not only further reduce corruption, but also offer a Chinese solution for global governance challenges.